So if you're watching this, you probably have a Dreame T20 vacuum cleaner, which might or might not have any problems, which mine doesn't. This completely working brush head, the smart one, I'm not quite sure what the name was exactly, but I've been reading a lot online that it has problems with a little cable that's up here, that not quite sturdy enough, or it's not flexible enough. And this is the model ASF1. I'm just going to zoom in on that. Oh, there we go. And that they say that has problems, that it stops spinning when going around a corner, and it's mostly because of a defective cable somewhere up here. So I'm going to open it up and see if I can remedy it before it breaks. That's basically my goal. I have a guide on how to loosen everything, and I also have this screwdriver kit with a lot of tips, the right tips. It should have the right one. I just had already found the right one. It's a T10 in this case, not to be confused with the model number T20 of the vacuum cleaner. That's a whole different number. It fits over here. I don't have any problem getting loose. It's quite tight in the beginning, so I usually just grab it on like this, tight grip, and push the button, and just little by little by little by little. It's easier and easier, and there we go. It's loosened. That's the first one. There we go. That's the screw. The thing is, there's a lot of screws. There's one over here. There's a few over here. It's like this is one, 2, 3, 4. There's also one underneath this bristle. You need to kind of loosen it, and you'll need to reattach it later. This screw needs to get loose. This is nothing. This screw needs to be removed, and I believe these two need to be removed as well. I'll be removing those, and I will get back to you. Okay, so I just noticed the screw in this one is just a tiny bit smaller than the others, so you don't want to mess those up. Those aren't different sizes for nothing. There's a reason why they're not the same size, so that's something we need to watch. I can say these two are the same size as these. One towards the end are just a little bit smaller, so those are different and they should not be confused, but it's not that confusing. There are not that many of them. It's actually a screen remover, but I'll leave a little knife work as well, but I'm not too worried about reattaching this, as we can always glue it back. Okay, there's no screw over here, so I'm just a little confused right now. Someone over here. Just gonna take out the bristle for now. Ah, look, it's only on the left side, or on your right side when you're looking at it from this side. So only on this side there's a screw. It's not on the other side, so you don't make the same mistake I just did. Don't remove the felt on that side. It just came off. That's okay. I'm just gonna put back the other side. Putting it back, just like pushing it back. And this side should be the last screw. Yep. I did not know you need to take the wheels off as well. Take out the other one as well. There's these little springs. Now, how does this come apart? Are there little clips or something? I don't know. Confusing. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what I did just there. I pulled the top part where the glass is. It's not really glass, it's plastic. You just grab the bottom part here and just pull it away. It comes off there, and then that way this part comes loose as well. And that way you can work your way up to the front. This side seems to struggle a little bit more. Don't want to break anything. Oh. Apparently I'm dumb. There's another screw in here. That's why I'm always extra careful. Everything could still just be working just fine, and you could break it yourself. And now it goes a lot easier. Did I forget any other screws? I did not. I gotta say, I'm glad I'm following this guide, but it's not very clear on what to do. They're talking about clips, but they're not really clear what clips. So I'm hoping this video will solve also any insecurities you have. They're talking about a hidden screw underneath a clip. Why is the guy not talking about this? To me, that's absolutely ridiculous. Which I expect to be this clip over here, and the outsider clip. It's look, when you look at these little tunnels over here. These are these little screws, just like the one I took out earlier, and they cannot be reached because there's this clip really tightly on there. I'm not able to get it out like this. It's not as easy. It's not sure if I need to pry them off by force, or I don't want to break it. I really don't. I mean, plastic's already turning white because of the force I'm putting on there. Oh, well, this one came off really easily on this side. You just heard the clip. I just pushed this sharp pen underneath the intersection over here. Just push it between it, and it just came off like this. That's what we need. I'm not sure if they are well, or they are clips, so they aren't actually glued in place. So there's this intersection over here. I'm just going to give you a little extra light because you need to see this. The intersection over here, and also on the other side, there's a little gap. I push it in there. It comes out. That's the clip they meant. That's something you really need to know before we start this. Now you know it's not that hard, but whoa, there we go. See, I damaged this by quite a lot, and I'm not quite happy about that, but that shouldn't impact the use of this vacuum cleaner at all. And there we go. They have 4 more screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe smaller one again. Important instruction. The bottom one near the vacuum cleaner's head itself. This is a smaller one. This is a taller one. I'm gonna imagine it's the same side on this side. And this is another smaller one. You might be wondering, why is that important? Well, you're going to be putting it back together, hopefully. And now it comes apart easily. That's what I want. But it's not apart just yet. Never put any force on it, because you might break off some clips you don't want to break off. Really do not want... Oh. See, that was quite loud, but nothing broke, I'm pretty sure. The top comes off like this. You see that? You can just... It's apart. That's great. I'm just going to put that aside. We're not going to need that. This is the inside. That's the first look for you, but also for me. Now let's see, what exactly is the problem. The problem should somewhere be in this head, which we need to take off. Oh, we need to remove these screws. That's what I see in the guide. Again, I'm wondering, are these bigger ones or smaller ones? These are even tinier ones. I'm going to put these apart, so that means there's 3 different kind of screws. These are the tiniest ones. Yep. And that means they don't need a lot of force to be taken out. Oh, and this just comes off like that. Oh, amazing. Great. Oh, there we go. The cables. The cable is attached here to handle all the stress it gets. Well, there's a big difference between mine and the one in the picture. The one in the picture, it has these little tabs on here to keep the cable in place. Those tabs are now gone in mine. So that means when these rotate, they have a lot more space for moving. Honestly, I don't really see a problem why this would break. What they did do is resolder the attachment over here. I wanted to give you a little recap on what I found to be the. Don't lose this. It was on the remote here. I doubt it's there for nothing, so I'm just gonna keep it and put it back when I put it back together. What I think was the problem with most people's, I'm just gonna show you this cable. The pictures I have seen of the people who've had this problem had little tabs here. They weren't here on my vacuum cleaner head, so I'm not sure. I'll show you a picture right here. I can show you the ones people have shared who had the problem with the head that stopped working. They were these little pieces of plastic, and they would keep the cables on their place, and when they rotated, you could see they would get a lot of strain. If I keep them here with my fingers, as if these were the little prongs, the little hands that would keep the cable here, which seems like a good idea, but honestly, when the head turns, there'll be a lot of strain on these cables over here, and they would eventually, after about 2 weeks, they would just snap off. What I think has happened is the people at Dreame caught up on this way sooner than we think, because I was an Indiegogo backer, and I only got my order in today. It seems like when you look real close, it seems like they snapped them off with like scissors, or they just broke them off by hand. And I did not do this. I promise you, I did not do this. And now when I don't hold the cable with my fingers and it turns, see, it has enough, way more than enough wiggle room to spin the actual head. So I think mine would not have broken after 2 weeks. So there's nothing I'm going to change about this one. If you're still not sure if you have the right version or something, don't look at the model number. Nope. Because mine is also ASF1. That's the model number. There's nothing about version 2 or version 1. I was one of the last backers of the Indiegogo campaign, but I don't think it was a revision, because it really looks like they were just cut off. They weren't manufactured like this. There was a person at Dreame Tech just ordered to snap these off because I think they would break. Look, when I move it, it can easily move. Even when I put it back together, it can easily move, but not with the little prongs here. They would get a lot of strain, and I think that's what happened. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think happened. I might be wrong. Please let me know, because I don't want to spread any misinformation. I just want to help you guys with the same problem, and I also want to have just a little bit more faith in the people of Dreame Tech, Dreame, not sure how you pronounce it. But the problem is, they should have communicated this, that like they fixed it, or what the problem was, and they should have kept track with the models that did still have these prongs, if this was the problem. Because I might be wrong. I'm a human being, and I can be wrong, but really looks like this was the problem. So I'm now just gonna put it back together, and hopefully it'll still work. I'm gonna put these 2 screws back. It's basically everything in the other order than I started with. These were the smallest screws. There's 3 sizes of screws, and these were the smallest ones. If you don't need instruction to put that together, then you can skip this part, obviously, but just wanted to let you know. That's not good. There you go, the smaller one over here. There's nothing in between there. No, this is all in the right place. We've got this part, so it looks great. This just needs to be there over there. Does it really need to be there? Would it have been a problem if I did not put it back? I don't think so, but each and every time I would be using this, I would be thinking, the little thing is there. This is something with dust in this little filter here, so I think it's more of a dust filter, so dust doesn't get in. Yeah, I think the little thing needs to be there, and it fell out again, so we need to really keep that in place. Oh, I see now. I'm just going to show you the little thing. There's a few little pins sticking out. If you can just punch it on there, it shouldn't fall off. It works, so let's not judge too fast. So line everything, the filter's still there. which it would probably operate fine without, but it's not there for no reason. Everything is in its place. Just let's see if everything will go back into place. Look, everything agrees this time. As you can see, everything snaps back into place. You can put in the screws back again. The little filter is in. See, there's a little black. The actual motor is here, and if the filter wasn't there, I guess dust could get in. It might potentially ruin your smart vacuum head. Smart multi-brush bar is apparently what it's called. Did not know that. Yeah, let's start again with all the screws. I'm going to start with the small ones this time. But we're not done yet. We still have quite a few more screws to go. This one was hidden underneath the brush, the floor brushes. Put the little brush back already. And I still have a few more screws to go. There are these small ones, and in the middle, in the base of the vacuum cleaner as well. And that one's in. And the one in the base, which I call the base, but it's a really stupid name because oh, my battery's dead. Okay, we're gonna have to do it old style and just turn it by hand. Oh man, I feel like a caveman without doing it without the electric screwdriver. I still need to put back the clips, which I believe they went on like this. One of the clips actually broke off, and it's now a little bit loose. Don't think in itself is a problem, because this one has the same thing. One of the sides, one of the clips broke off, and on this side it's still there, as you can see. But I'm pretty sure it's not. It's just wiggling a little bit. In the worst case, I could just put like a tiny bit of super glue on one side and it wouldn't wiggle anymore. The downside of that is that if you ever need to take it apart again, you'll have a bit of glue there you need to think about removing first. Oh, like this. Well, it's the same story. I can easily take it off right now. My screwdriver is working again. I'm not sure. I think it might have overheated or something. Maybe those little screws are for the wheels. Maybe that's it. Yes, this was not mentioned in any guide. These little screws are just to keep the wheels in place. I did not know this. Nobody mentions this. This is very important when putting this back together. The little piece of the screw just goes in the little slot of the little pin here, and it keeps it in place. If you screw it in and then try to put back the wheel, you will not be able to. It won't go in. If you do not know this, you will have a problem. There you go. It's perfectly on. It's working again. That's perfect. It won't come off. Screw this screw back, and everything is fine. It's back together. Still working as intended. Let's put back the brush. Interlocked. And there it is. Now, let's test if it still works. There we go. There it is. Show you as well. The screen never popped off for me when removing the screen protector. It's a problem some people apparently had. Well, it didn't happen to me. Not sure if you were just unlucky that the glue didn't stick or something. And let's attach it here. There we go. It still perfectly works. That's brilliant. And I don't think it will break either, so we'll be happy with that. I think an important lesson we learned from this is we should never just assume that the company is just doing whatever and sending you a broken product. Well, it has done to some people apparently, because they apparently do have problems with it, and that's not something to be proud of, and they should communicate better about that specific problem, and not just tell people that they just should contact them and then not respond for weeks. Or, well, some people have gotten new brushes, and they probably have brushes with the modification that my brush had. It's not really a modification, but that's what I think happened. So that's something you should keep in mind. I've only had this vacuum cleaner for a day, so I can't really say that what I just saw and how I experienced it is representative of the actual product. But you should definitely keep that in mind. And hopefully I don't have to come back to this, but I hope it's helped you. It's a little guide. You can see what mistakes I made. That should be good.